Hello and welcome back to another video gig log. This is Nate within the Mix Light and Sound, and today we have an outdoor fall festival by a local social club. Looks like there's two bands for today, so it should be pretty straightforward. Your typical bands with keys, drums, bass, guitars, and vocals smattered in there. So one of the bands we've worked with before, the other band, the first band that's going on will be the first time working with them. So looking forward to it. And with that, we'll see how much video we can get. We're taking our trailer today. That way we're prepared for all contingencies here. We'll probably be setting up the Meyer Ultra X40s as usual. And we'll probably throw out a SRX828, maybe two, depending on how big the area is. I believe the stage is going to be set up in their outdoor parking lot, so depending on the area, we'll see if we need the extra sub or not. So with that, stay tuned, and thanks again for watching. Okay, so I way overestimated what they were going to be doing for this show, and probably didn't even need to bring out the trailer at all. So what they have is probably a 15 or 20 foot easy up for the band, and then they're setting up two more easy ups for a dance area, and that's where they want to keep things contained. So we definitely could have gone with the 12-inch subwoofers. I had the trailer, and just to keep everything easy, I just set up the subs anyway. We're going to be not running them anywhere near their capacity, but it is what it is. At least it'll look impressive to the groups coming out. And then we're running two separate circuits out of the inside there to our rack, and one circuit's going to be divided for the mains and the frontline power here. I already have the stringer run, and then the second will be for running wedges, the rack here, and any backline that they have. So we're going to go ahead and set it up as is. I just have to laugh. Yeah, way overkill. Alright, so here's how things shook out. Three wedges across the front. Alright, so we just kicked off, getting a little bit of a slow start here. But it's early in the day. And we got a nice low volume mix happening here.
You want a piece of my heart? You better stop at the start. You want to be in the show? Come on, baby, let's go.
Alright, a quick look at the stage. So everything's running out of the rack. So the front of house is the 828s, three monitors, keys there, just feeding left and right. Bass DI, and actually guitar is DI as well. $15-inch monitor for the drums. And then we just have three color keys across the back here, running off a wireless DMX. I do have them plugged in since this goes for about, I think, 8 hours total for between the two bands. So that way I have them plugged in. I don't have to worry about batteries draining. As far as the lights itself to control it, we have our WMX here. And I have it set up in a way, so it's odd right now. Everything's plugged in, power-wise. So it's all plugged into a little pile strip here. And what I mean plugged in is I have that little P-Night ArtNet to DMX is what is the signals going through here. And I'll explain why I did it this way in just a moment. On the back here, we have our little DMX node that's feeding the wireless DMX that's feeding the back there. So the reason that I set this up is for the band later in the night. Once it gets dark, I think we're gonna want to do more effects and things like that. So I have a little battery bank up here, and I can plug the two USB, just the ArtNet to DMX and the Wolf Mix here, into that little power bank and take it with me with the tablet out front. So right now I have a little seat set up out front there, and now I can take this and wirelessly operate the mixer and the lights at the same time. Again, they're just washes, but I can do some chase effects, and there's a top strip in these color keys that I use for blinders. They can be bright white. So I'll have them on a momentary switch on the Wolf Mix here at the blind. And then that way, when I hit that, the white comes on, gives a nice blinder effect. For front lights, we're just using our actual blinders. They're just two-head warm white, cool white fixtures, and just have them on a setting, just a manual setting. I'm not going to black them out or do anything with them. They're just for front lighting, and I'm not going to control them at all.
Thanks to the social quarters again. Stick around. Video Daze will be on at 5 o'clock. And we'll see you real soon. We are Clean Slate. Thanks again.
Thank you. Have a great night.
All right. So because of the wind and how cold it was getting outside, the organizers asked that we move inside. So we had about an hour and a half changeover time, and we managed to get everything moved in and up and sound checked with 5 minutes to spare till start time. So as I'm rushing to tear down, just want to make mention the reason I didn't have the speaker strapped is because I had a little speaker pole nub here that went in to the sub. So that's how I was able to keep them in place. All right, so we made it through the second part of the gig and we're able to tear down. In about an hour and 15 minutes, had the trailer loaded and ready to go. So not too bad. I think in a lot of ways, the way I've streamlined the equipment has made it pretty straightforward, almost brainless for me. But let's talk about what occurred today. So a couple of things that I could have done better is, first off, getting a better understanding of the requirements of the gig. A lot of times, if there's going to be a new place, especially festivals and things like that, larger ticket items, I will schedule walkthroughs to understand what the organizers want, what the events will be. This was more of a low-key festival, I think. I was introduced to the organization through the band that I work with. So some of you have asked a couple of times, like, hey, what's the best way to get gigs? Things like that. So that's what this little speech is going to be about, talking about what happened today. So the event, again, 2 bands, and the first band, very easy to work with. We got everything set up. Like I may have mentioned earlier in the video, I was expecting a larger area of the parking lot. I'd been to this place before, and the way I thought they were going to close down the parking lot is they have a huge part in the back. And somebody that I was speaking to mentioned that for other outdoor stuff, they had brought out their stage, and so I was expecting something bigger. That's why I brought the trailer. That's why I brought all the, the double 18 subs. So it turned out, no, it was a smaller area. But here's how it works. The way I have my setup streamlined for active speakers is it really doesn't matter if it's the double 18s or if it's those Yamaha 12s. The connection points and all of that are still basically the same, so it wouldn't have really saved me any time. In some regards, the subs, double 18s, saved me a little bit of time because they make good stands, as you saw today. And what I was able to do is I have these little, like, 6-inch speaker poles that thread in to the tops. So I was able to just stick the mains on top of that. I didn't extend them high because initially we were under easy ups and we were limited on the trim height we could get. So that worked out fine. We had everything set up and ready to go. And then when the last band finished, the way it was set up, I'm not exactly sure why they had this spread of time. There was an hour-and-a-half time frame between the first band ending and the second band going on, which, in my mind, awesome, right? Usually I get 15-minute, half-hour changeovers at the most. So that was great. Hey, all right, let me go ahead and take advantage of that. But then the organizers came to me, and the day turned out to be windier than everybody thought. Temperature-wise wasn't too bad, but the wind chill was there. And they're concerned. They were looking out for their members, and they have a space inside. They have a hall where they normally have bands play. I've set up in there before. And they asked me if I would be willing to move indoors. So let's talk about what that entailed. That entails striking everything that's already set up outside, moving that inside, and getting the band set up. Now, we only had an hour and a half. We were able to get it done in 45 minutes. Now, that type of scenario where you get asked kind of the unexpected, right? Can you move? Can you go indoors? I've had it happen before where there's been inclement weather where unexpected rain or storms showed up and the contingency plan was move inside. That was communicated ahead of time, and we were ready for it, and had the occasion to bill for it as well. And I think that's where some of you might come and say, like, hey, extra work, extra time means extra money, and you're not wrong. You're not wrong. However, this is kind of the gray area, right? So part of what we do is service. We're a service industry to an extent. We service bands, we service clients, and being able to be nice to your clients and not get grumpy around the edges. And being able to go that extra mile does go a long way. People recognize that, and that's how I've built my business, and how I've had so many repeat clients. I think is just being able to go that extra mile, trying to be accommodating. When somebody asks me, say a band member asks me, like, "Hey, can you turn this up in the monitor? Can you make this any louder?" A lot of times I'll joke. My answer is, "Well, if physics allows me to do it, I'll do it for you." And that's kind of the mentality that I take. I want to try to accommodate as much as I can within reason. In this case, we had the gap. We had the time to be able to get it done. And we got it done in 45 minutes. We had the next band up and ready to sound check and go. Now, they did help move stuff in and wheel things in, so that was definitely appreciated, definitely helpful. So again, the club was just looking out for their members. Now, once we were inside, different scenario from outside. It's a hall, they call it, but it's not a very large room as you saw in the video. So we did the best we could. We set up the lighting, had that going. I actually gave myself a little remote front of house area back by one of the walls and was able to run sound and run lights from there remotely. And once we were done, the band played for, they had a 3-hour set. Once we were done, again, was able to get packed up in about an hour and 15 minutes. That included going out, getting the trailer, backing that in, getting everything loaded up. So, all in all, things I could have done better. I could have advanced this a little bit better to get an understanding of what the festival entailed. Now, this was the very first one that they've done, so I think there were lessons there as well. But I was able to give them my card, give them my information, this being the organizers and that social club. So we'll see if we get a call back. And then the other side of it was the first band I haven't worked with before. Was able to give them my card, so they have my contact information, and we'll see. Maybe we'll get to work with them in the future. So not a bad day as far as the work. Yeah, it was a little bit extra work moving things back and forth from outdoors to indoors. But sometimes we need to be prepared for that, and then it's up to you as a business how you want to handle that. In this case, next year, if they have me back again, I will probably mention something that, hey, if we need to move indoors, let's talk about what that looks like, and let's talk about, maybe some extra labor, some extra money in the budget for that if we need to do it. But for this first time one-off, again, just want to go that extra mile. I was thinking about it, again, being a service industry. It's like you have a waitress who goes that extra mile for you, and you tip her, or it just makes you want to come back to that place again. Or you go to a store where somebody goes out of their way to find an item for you or really help you out, and that's something that again, good customer service makes you want to go back and frequent that business again. And again, that's the model that I strive for, and I think that's the tact I took today. It's like, let's go that extra mile. Let's accommodate the festival and the organizers, and we'll see. We'll see how it works out. We'll see if we get a call in the future for them. Maybe next year, if they do this event again, maybe they'll call me and hire direct. But you don't know if you don't try to go that extra. So, off my soapbox there. That's it. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for those of you subscribing. Really appreciate it. We're in the fall season. We're going to be going into our winter season. We still have a couple outdoor gigs yet to document, so more to come there. But thank you again. Thanks for watching, and on to the next one. Thank you.